students, welcome to our YouTube channel. So as you know, we are discussing a number of theories. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting theory, queer theory. Let us talk about queer theory and the various writers who are writing around this field. So the queer theory, as you all know, is coming from different fields. So the queer theory is the part of the field of queer studies, and from queer studies we had this theory called as queer theory, whose roots can be found in number of fields like the women's studies, in the feminist theory, in the gay and the lesbian studies also. And then we have the postmodern and the post-structuralist theories who also contribute to talk about the queer theory. So in सब लोगों को इन सब चीजों से थोड़ा-थोड़ा लेकर we have this queer theory that was developed. Queer theory, I would say again, was a part of a number of fields. It is studied and it is a part of women's studies, the feminist theory, the gay and the lesbian studies, as well as the postmodern and the post-structuralist theories. Then around in 1991, it is Teresa de Lauretis who used these words queer theory for the first time to describe a very different way of thinking. It was a way of thinking that was not compartmentalized between two different things. So I would read, it was describing a way of thinking that did not use heterosexuality or binary gender constructs as its starting point. So it is not constructing the things in two binaries. It is not dividing the things into two binaries, but it is talking about this queer space. It is talking about this gray area that is always there. So what are these queer theorists talking about? They would say that there is never clean slate. There is never clean demarcations between right and wrong, between male and female. There is always something queer in between, the gray areas in between. That is the queer theory. So heterosexuality or binary constructs are not divisions or the starting points that are always there, but instead argue for a more fluid concept of identity. One person's identity is very fluid and you cannot construct or demarcate it between the two binaries that are there, between a girl or a boy, between male or female. So we have this definition given by E. Sedgwick, a very important theorist. So the definition is as follows: the dividing up of all sexual acts, indeed all persons, under the opposite categories of homo and hetero, is not a natural given process, but a historical process. So now the demarcations that we have been talking about as homo or heterosexual, this is not a demarcation that is starting now. It is an age-long process. It has been a process. We are drilled, we are indoctrinated with these things. Still incomplete today, but still people are debating about it. Even today, it's an open-ended debate because they know that there are some queer areas, some gray areas in between. Ultimately impossible, but characterized by potent contradictions and explorative effects. Still, they know there is a potential for the things to be discussed here. There are a number of theorists who talked about the queer theory and they started to talk about gay studies, etc. They started to talk about how the gender is nothing but a performity. So we have Judith Butler, a very important American theorist, who said that gender is nothing but performity. You see questions asked from her so many times in the exam also. So a very important book is The Gender Trouble that came out in 1990, and it talks about the biological sexes and how it is only a performance that they are doing. Okay, so we have the works of Michel Foucault or Judith Butler that are often considered as the forerunners, the founding text of this theory called as the queer theory. We have Lauren Berlant, we have Michelle Warner, Eve Coswick Shedwick, and others who are there, and others are also there who are the major writers in the field of queer theory. So they are important theorists, and whenever you want to positionalize queer theory, you need to know the works by these important theorists, right? So these are the theorists who you will also study about. I would urge you to make your own notes and write at least 1 to 3 works related to the queer theory they have done in the oeuvre of their writing. Let us talk about some other things related to queer theory. So the proponents of queer theory always argue that it promotes the acceptance and understanding of a more complex reality in which we live. So they do not say that there is only one truth. As I told you, they are somewhat like the post-structuralist, or you can say the deconstructionist, or they are like the postmodernist, who say that there is never one truth or the ultimate reality that we have. There are always multiple overlapping realities that we have. There are always the gray areas, I would say, that are ever present. So there are complex realities. The complex realities, the waters in which we are swimming right now are very queer. They are always queer areas in between. The queer theory provides scholars, activists and other ways of thinking and talking about identity beyond simple binaries. So they talk about various identities, or you can say how your identity is made, and they say that it can never be divided. So you can never divide the identity completely. Identity and all the other things that are present in front of us, they are beyond simple binaries, especially in fighting the homophobia and the transphobia, which are unreasoned, or the unreasoned fear that is going on around us. These are the unreasoned fear and hatred towards homosexuals and homosexuality and transsexuals or transsexuality or transgender people respectively. So they are now talking about, the queer theorists are coming forward and talking about the homophobia or the transphobia that people have. They do not understand what a complete identity is, how identity can never be positionalized or compartmentalized, how it is just a performity that we have, and they actually have a kind of phobia now. So these theorists are coming forward to talk about these concepts. The queer theory has often been used in various performances like drag performance, or they are used between to create a disparity between desire and gender, or they are used to talk about the gender identity disorder. So in multiple areas, you see people now using queer theory. This theory is used in multiple areas. So queer theory hota kya hai? Ultimately, what's the definition? Queer is by definition whatever you find at odds, something that is different, something that is not fixed, something that is not static, but it is fluid in nature. It is not fixed, but it is at odds with the normal. It is different than the normal, or the legitimate or the dominant. So the male or the female groups are the two groups that we have. What if someone has characteristics of both of these things? So that is a queer area that you are in. There is nothing in particular to which that it necessarily reflects. It is the identity without a sense. So without a sense, there can be an identity. So it's a very postmodern, post-structuralist concept. It rejects the essentialist nature of theories of identity based on the binary oppositions like male, female, gay or straight, and it argues that there is another space outside which is very queer, right? So it is a queer space outside. You cannot compartmentalize. I would again repeat. So there can never be two positions, two complete demarcations like male or female, like a person who is gay or straight. There are always area in between, and that's the overlapping area. It is called as the queer area. There are some keywords that you will again and again revisit once you read more about this concept. So this is the queer space, fluidity, identity, and binary. And these are the important theorists. You have Alexander Doty, Teresa, Judith Butler, Shedwick, and you have Andrew Rich also. I see questions being asked from almost all of these theorists. So I want you to read more about the works that are written by these people. Judith Butler, Shedwick are few important people who we will discuss in the class and of course in the YouTube videos also, but I want you to read and make your notes yourself. In fact, if you know, you can write two important works by Judith Butler in the comments below and I'll surely reply to you. Now let us see what is a queer text. So a queer text. according to theorists, a queer texts are those. What are queer texts? Queer texts are those that deals with explicitly queer themes and characters. Something that is talking about queer theme or queer characters are involved in it. That is a queer text where you can use this theory, queer theory. That can be read as queer. Accumulated queer readings, identifying subtext are also there. So this is a queer text. Essentially, the queer theorists do not agree with the black and the white versions. So these queer theorists do not agree in a queer text that there are black or white substances. There are always gray substances, gray areas in between. They do not agree that the whole world is black or white. They are not saying that the world has two versions, black and white. This is not a binary system that they represent. They think there are more gay areas. There are more gray areas in between. These are called as the queer spaces. And it is not a simple demarcation between male, female, gay, straight, either or, etc. Either or, male, female, girl, boy. These are the rigid identities that we have created in our mind. There are some fluid identities in between and you can transcend the boundaries. This is what they are saying. So ultimately, you'll understand that what's a queer theory. Just focus on this definition. The queer theory is anything, or the queer theorist is saying that queer is something away from the normal. Queer is by definition whatever is at odds with the normal or the legitimate. So from generations to generations, you see heterosexuality being followed. So you have male and female, two dominant cultures, but there are some cultures that are fluid. There are identities that are fluid, and you need to study those things. One of the most important theorists that we'll be discussing here is Judith Butler. Judith Butler, as I told you, is an American theorist. She was born in 1956. She's the key figure when it comes to queer theory. And the most important book that we will focus on is Gender Trouble, coming out in 1990, which argue that the idea of two biological sexes is just socially constructed. So it is you. In fact, we all, this society who have constructed these two sexes in front of us. It is socially constructed as gender. The feminist discussion of men and women as separate groups and all the women as one coherent group is nothing but a social construction that we have. So Butler calls for a proliferation of radical gender performances to subvert the assumptions. So it is nothing but assumptions that we have. And once you study about these feminist texts, you will get to know how every woman is different from another woman, how one child is another from another child, how there can be different roles that one has to play. How do you know that blue is a color for a boy and pink is a color for a girl? These are the social notions. These are the notions that we have created, patriarchal notions that are going around us, and we are indoctrinated. So she, in her very important work, The Gender Trouble, is talking about gender as nothing but a performity that we perform, because it is fixed in our mind. It is imbibed in our mind to perform in these manner, right? So what you have to do today you will be reading more about these people, I would say. You will study more about Foucault, Butler, Warner, then you will study about Lauren, Kowalski, and then the others that I have already told you, Andrin Rich, etc. Okay, so in the comment down below, you are going to write 2 to 3 works by Judith Butler, and I'll surely reply. If you have any other doubt, you can ask that as well. I hope you like the video. If there is any doubt, you can ask me that. I'll surely reply. Thank you so much for being a patient listener.